Hey guys, and welcome to my map discussion video. In this video I just wanted to take a look at some of the previous maps that we had in EverQuest games and take a look at the new map. Okay, so I wanted to start off with the map of Ternaria, which was the EverQuest Online Adventures map. And you can see down here we have Grob, and Broken Skull Rock, and Inithul Swamp. Over here you've got the Firot in Agok, which they showed a little bit of the Firot in EverQuest Next. It's very different from the way I remember it. You've got Dead Hills over here. And let's see. Wraith Mountains, Highborn. And then you have Kinos up here with the Plains of Karana. And Surefall Glade was up here. And they also had a place called High Pass, which was basically the same as High Keep. You had Moradhim, which I believe was also the same as Kaladhim. I'm not certain if it was a different city or if they just renamed it. And of course you had the Unkempt Woods right here. You had Rivervale over here, Kithakor Wood, Noctilos Forest, Freeport in the Commonlands, of course. And up here you have Clickanon, which is pretty interesting. From what I understand, it's not the same place as Akanon. The gnomes had to leave. I think it had something to do with the clockworks going crazy or something. So they ended up leaving Clickanon, I believe, and founding Akanon. And then you had Facespire up here, which is where the elves originated from. Apparently they ended up leaving this place and going to Fadeware somewhere along the line, which was off to the side here. We didn't have Fadeware in EQOA because it was like 500 years after. You had Tethlin up here, which is basically where the Wood Elves came from. And this was like the High Elf place. It was like the main city. You had Hollis over here and Lavastorm. And there's a few other small towns. Actually, there's quite a lot of small towns. I'm probably going to put up the zone map just so people can take a look at that. Or I'll put a link in the description for it. But there was a lot of zones with a lot of different little towns here and there, and a lot of things that, they just didn't make their way in EverQuest I, and they were only in EQOA. There's a town called, like, Forkwatch, for example. I don't believe was in EverQuest I. And then over here we had Arcaden with a whole bunch of zones that I'm not going to get into. But this place was pretty cool. This was part of our expansion pack that we got. You had the Kara Islands over here, so this was the first time we got to see what the Kara looked like. And let's see, over here you had Plain of Sky. And that was pretty much it for EverQuest Online Adventures. They never expanded on it beyond the first expansion, Frontiers. It just kind of stayed stagnant for a long time. They added this place called Zenarin Plateau, I think it was called. I'm not sure because I left before it got to that point, but things just kind of got stale, and the game wasn't really a smash hit like they thought it was going to be, so it didn't really take off, so we only ended up with one expansion. But I'm sorry, they called this Otis over here. Arcaden was the city that the Erudites founded, and you can see right here where it says Irid's Crossing because they came over from Highborn and made their way over here, and then they started this city called Arcaden. I think it was called something different later on, but it was basically all frontier stuff. Excuse me. You could just see how things just started off as, like a Wild West kind of era. Kind of like what they're doing again with EverQuest Next, which I think is really interesting because it does kind of harken back to Frontiers. It does harken back to the EverQuest Online Adventures vibe where they're going for the everything was fresh and new and just being settled. Okay, so this is the EverQuest I map, and you can see that the main continent was called Antonica. And I'm pretty sure this is where everybody started off in the 1999 version. I don't think they had any of this other stuff. So this was the basic stuff. And from my experience playing the game, EverQuest I, this is really as far as I went. I never really went beyond this place. I still have a lot to discover in EverQuest I, but I never even checked out their version of Otis or anything like that. And as you zoom out, you can see they just got a lot more than EverQuest Online Adventures ever got. And it's kind of depressing for me to look at that because it just shows the potential that EQOA could have had and never reached. But you had Fadeware over here, like I said. That's where the elves ended up moving to. They were originally somewhere over in here. And you've got Luckland, which is the moon. And in EverQuest II, I believe that actually blew up. So that's that big thing up in the sky that's all shattered to pieces. And you had Alaris over here, which was Vale of Alaris, I think was that expansion. And then you had Kunark, which was Rise of Kunark. And Velios. I believe this is the latest one. I'm not certain because, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about EverQuest One, so I'm still learning about it. And then you had this area over here called Gates. I'm not certain how that worked out. And then you had the Plains of Power and the Void, and let's see, Omens up here. So I'm not sure what all these were. I think they were just like different dimensions and stuff. So yeah, you can just see there was a lot more going on here for EverQuest One. But yeah, that's the EverQuest One map, and I'd like to get into more detail about it, but like I said, I just don't know a whole lot. So here we have the EverQuest 2 map, which things have gotten really crazy. There was apparently this big cataclysm kind of event that happened, and a lot of the areas ended up underwater. I believe this is what's left of Antarctica right here. I'm not 100% on that because there's so many changes in things that I really don't know. I'm assuming this is Veles over here. I'm guessing this is Fadeware. I can't be certain. Lava Storm, I think this is what's left of Lava Storm. And as you can tell, there's just been a lot of damage, which is why I think they're choosing to kind of start over, because it really leaves them nowhere to go if they want to go into the future with EverQuest, because it's just such a mess. Everything has been flooded and it's just a disaster. Now, I haven't played a lot of EverQuest 2 either, so I can't really go into detail, but it was kind of a turnoff for me when I started playing, knowing that a lot of the places that I used to enjoy were gone. Apparently they were underwater, like Surefall Glade wasn't in the game anymore. High Pass, I believe, was no longer in the game. And just a lot of the familiar places is just kind of depressing, you know. Just I remember asking people, hey, where's Surefall? And like, that's like underwater now, dude. That shit's gone. Nobody knows where it is. And yeah, it was kind of a turnoff for me, the way they decided to do it. I don't really understand the motivation behind it, but I guess it's, you know, they were trying to change things up, and like the gods had abandoned everybody or something like that. But it just I'm glad they're rewriting everything and starting over, because I didn't really like the direction that it took in EverQuest 2. Okay, so now that brings us to our main event, and I want to thank EQ Next fans for allowing me the use of this map. And that is run by, I believe, Curse Entertainment, that site. So check it out, and I've got a link in the description. So this is all speculation. I just want to make that clear to everyone. This is just what they speculated where things are going to be, and nobody's certain if their towns are going to actually be called this. We don't know if they're going to actually call the town something else, which I don't think they will. I think they'll want to keep some of the nostalgia factor there, so I think they're going to go with the original names. But down here you can see they placed Grob in Inithul Swamp. Over here you have an unknown area, which might be like the Dead Hills or something like that. You've got the Common Lands and Desert of Roe right here, this is pretty crazy, because if I'm not mistaken, the Desert of Roe was down here in the original EverQuest and EQOA, and the Common Lands was actually up here. So it looks like it's been flipped around, but the reason why they speculated that is because this doesn't look like a desert. This looks more like the Common Lands, and up here it looks more like a desert. So so that's one thing right there that we think has changed. Nobody's certain. And I just want to mention that this continent is going to be called Amaryl. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to call it. Again, it hasn't been confirmed, I don't believe. And you have Surefall, or Freeport over here. I've got Surefall on the brain. You have Freeport over here, and then you've got Kinos over here, and hopefully within the Plains of Karana area, you're going to have Surefall over here. Now, the reason why I misspoke and said Surefall is because that's my favorite zone of all time. And like I said, I was pretty depressed to see that that was removed in EverQuest 2. Because when I first got done with EQOA, I moved over to EverQuest 2, and everybody told me it was gone. It was really depressing for me, but yeah. Anyway, hopefully they bring that back. I'd like to see it somewhere over in here. Hopefully there's some sort of a woodland area that hasn't been really distinguished on the map. But pretty much just looks like plains, so it doesn't look like we're going to have a Surefall, but hopefully I'm wrong. And then you have Nectalos over here with Narak, Lava Storm Mountains, obviously. And that's the easiest place to nail down. I mean, it's pretty obvious what that is right there. And then you have the Everfrost Peaks. And they think that Hollis is going to be up here. Now, I don't think Hollis is going to be up here, just because of some of the footage that I seen during the reveal. When he mentioned Hollis and rebuilding Hollis, it looked like it was somewhere down in here. It didn't look like a whole lot of snow and stuff like that. Now, I'm not certain, but I'm thinking it might be somewhere down in here. and they're calling this the unknown. I think this is going to be like permafrost over here. And they've nailed permafrost as being over here, but I think it might be over here. So it's all speculation, but I want to know what you guys think. And you can download this map off of the EverQuest Next fan site, and you can actually use this cool little tool that they have there, where you can place different cities to speculate where you think things are. So it would be nice if some of you guys would actually submit the maps and let me know what you think. Just kind of video respond where you think things are going to be, because I want to try to get the community a little bit more involved here. I want to get my subscribers a little bit more involved with the channel, and try to get you guys to actually participate a little bit. So yeah, it would be really awesome if you guys could do that. But yeah, like I said, they placed Hollis over here, and I'm going to go ahead and say that's going to be somewhere over here. Now, I've also seen Hollis. I've seen screenshots and things like that. Well, not screenshots, but concept art of Hollis having some snow. So maybe it is up here. I could be mistaken, but I think it'll be over here. At least there might be like the Hollis Gate over here. I don't know what the hell's going on. I have no idea. It's all speculation, which is really cool. So yeah, that's it for the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.